Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sowers of www.twitch.tv/Semulin fame. We're about to jump into a traditional Arena Cube draft. Chat, say hello to YouTube. But I wanted to take a moment and discuss what Cube is. We've done two of these so far this morning. I've done plenty of them in the past, both on Magic Online and even the Best of One Cube when it was on Arena before. And I had a lot of people ask questions about how do you approach a cube, what is cube, how does it work. There's a lot of different ways that you can play cube, but I'm going to speak specifically to this one that's on Arena right now. Cube, at its base, is, in this sense, is a collection of the most powerful cards that we have seen on Arena. They're shoved into packs, and then we get to draft them. So it's like limited in that we're going to be picking cards from packs, but it's also unlike limited because your traditional limited set has very good cards, usually mythics and rares, some pretty good cards, often uncommons, some playable cards, these would be your commons, and a few actively bad cards. You can see those anywhere from mythic all the way down to common. This cube doesn't really have that. All of the cards in every pack are good cards. So it's less about trying to figure out what's open and draft the open deck and then get rewarded for it, and more about pursuing the direction that you'd like to. If you have not drafted Cube before and you'd like to try it, but it seems a little daunting or intimidating, my suggestion would be that you try to draft an aggro deck in either white, red, or red-white, because you can usually get yourself a 2-1 with a solid aggro deck and then get to see the other archetypes as they're happening. So with that in mind, let's jump in here and draft. I explained to chat earlier that it's kind of the opposite of the chaos drafts that we've been doing. In Cube, if you open something cool that looks like a build around, you can pretty safely take it, build around it, and trust that the reward is somewhere in this cube. Whereas in Chaos Draft, if you open up something that's a build around, let's say it's a Vampire Lord, there's really no guarantee that you're going to get enough vampires for that to work out for you. So bear that in mind as we're going. I'm going to draft how I'd like to draft, and I view Cube as more of something that's enjoyable than something that's super competitive. And I think you could almost make a case for first picking any card that you see in a pack. The only other little piece of advice I would give people as you're going through is that there's so much mana fixing in this cube and so many playables that I view it as a bit of a failure if you draft a deck that doesn't have at least 4 or 5 lands in it. You're going to get 23 playables. If I draft 4 lands to go with them, then my deck has 27 cards that I drafted to play. And if someone else doesn't do that, then they're just kind of missing out on some of their picks. But with all that said, let's jump in here and enjoy a cube draft. So, I, again, could make an argument for a lot of these cards. I think the Cute Swarm is really fun and might like to play with it. I think having removal is always good. I think taking the Angel could be quite reasonable. Having 2 drops or removal could be quite reasonable. But for me, I want to play with Gonti. This just looks like fun to me. And that's really how I let the picks guide themselves. It's worth noting that there's 2 white-black duels here, so it's somewhat reasonable that we could spin one of those. And the Brave draft analogy that I've mentioned before kind of falls apart in Cube. These decks are going to be doing much more powerful things than you're used to seeing in Limited, because I don't think Cube really is traditional Limited. I think it's kind of a hybrid of Constructed and Limited, and some of the play skills that you've developed in either of those can help pay you off here. But I'm going to take the Gonti. Again, it's okay to pick what you want, but I want to see if we can do stupid things with this. Things that interest me here probably go down to Elspeth, Never Again, Ajani, Nightmare Shepherd to an extent, and Icy Manipulator to an extent. I like the idea of doing like a black-white value deck, and Elspeth Conquers Death is pretty dang good. Fabled Passage is pretty reasonable too. But I kind of like having Never to Return and Gonti as my starters. It's really hard to argue with an Icy though, isn't it? Because there's no guarantee I'm going to get to play Gonti. I want to. I don't think I would take the Triome over a Fabled Passage. I just like the idea of trading off Gonti and then bringing it back. Yeah, I'm going for fun. I'm going for fun here. Oh man, if you thought it was good already, behold, it's going to get better. Because I can get Gonti back with this too. Okay. What are we going to do if we don't draw Gonti? I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. Like, there's an argument to take the Tezzeret and see if we can get the mana together to do the thing with the stuff. But this has Bolus on it, and the other cards don't. And it also puts me in a position where I could realistically just play black and not have to worry about the Conqueror's Death. I like this cube too now that we're able to draft it in best of 3. That was really the only thing that was holding it back for me. The fact that aggro decks are very viable in cube draft, and you can pair that with best of 1 hand smoothing algorithm made it not particularly fun for me. I think I can get behind the Epic Downfall here, and we'll just settle into we're playing a black deck. We could play white if it happens to be quite open. If not, that's okay. That's a way we could win. What does this thing do? When Gravebreaker Llama enters the battlefield, search your card for a graveyard. Search your library for a card, put it in the graveyard, then shuffle. Well, there's a way to do that. Demonic Pact, I don't think we want. I think I could get behind Space Godzilla. I could get behind the fixing. I want this, but I think we're going to wheel it. I can't imagine anybody else is going to be super excited about that. Maybe we should be, though. It's just a 5-drop. But I think I like the Crystalline Giant here. Alright, there's a Cast Out, a Giant Killer, and a Foulmere Knight. I kind of like all of these cards. If I was 100% ready to go into black-white, I would take this Cast Out. I'm a little nervous about it and want to kind of hedge on the Foulmere, but I think this is just too strong of a start to let go of. Amiria's Call should be better for us than a Blood Artist or a Cabria Takedown, although it's cool that Blood Artist is in the cube. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that what we're wanting to do is open, but again, it doesn't super matter. It's cube. Play what you want. For the splash and be free. Man, I kind of want both of these. And the shelter to an extent. But I think swift response is just a little better for us. I'd like to be able to kill things early. As I mentioned, we wheeled one of the black-white duels, and it may seem a little crazy to pass Banishing Light and take a black-white duel, but if we're going to default into a color pair that only... If we're going to like decide now that we're black-white, and we know that a black-white duel was already taken, there's not that many more duels that we can get. So we need to grab this one, because we already know we're not going to see the fast land duel. Never came back. So did the Icy. Start to Suomalainen. And I really like both of these cards. It seems hard to argue with an Icy Manipulator, though. I wanted both, but I'm not going to get both. We could probably play the Birth of Meletus. It's a ramp. Well, it's not really a ramp spell, but it's something. If we're looking to control a 2-mana 0/4 that gains us some life and draws a plains, doesn't seem that terrible. I like where this is going. It's some value, which adds up to reasonable for a 2-drop. You'll also notice, if you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch, that I'm not really sorting this by creatures and spells like I normally do, and that's because in Cube you'll usually have enough removal spells, and the threats at 1 and 2 mana are good enough that you'll happily use removal spells on them. So I'm sort of assuming that we're going to be able to use the Swift Response relatively early. Obviously, it's unlikely we'll be able to cast the Epic Downfall on turn 2, because it would be somewhat confusing if somebody has a creature in play by then, but we could take it. We could card Crystalline Giant if you want to see this one. Although I thought Cardboard Live should be showing this. We could play a Bag of Holding. I don't know that I'm 100% on it. And maybe we find a combo with this. Oh, it doesn't show them during the draft portion. Fair. I doubt we're going to play any red, but why not have the option? I had forgotten that Cardboard Live didn't show it in the actual draft. We've got Shade as a recurring threat. Woe Strider seems pretty good every time my opponents have it. So it's a 3-mana 3/2 that comes with a goat. I can exile crap from my graveyard to get it back, which is kind of parasitic with the Eldest Reborn and Elspeth Conquers Death. This may not be what I'm looking for there. This sort of just kills itself to make tokens, which is interesting. We're not really set up to maximize the Bastion currently. I was thinking we could take the Shade or maybe even the Vehicle. Instant speed sack outlet. That's interesting too. Like, I think this is pretty reasonable. I like the idea of a recurring threat that gets better over time, and I like the idea of a little bit of ramp and fixing. Yeah, I may overvalue this Caravan, but I like the idea of being able to get to 5 relatively quickly. Good old Chainer's Edict. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen that in a long time. Luris could be okay here. We'd need to like get some more 2-drops, but I could get some more 2-drops. I don't think I'm looking to Regisaur people out. I'm trying to think of like, is there a possibility we could use Oketra's Monument? Because currently not really, but we could build towards it. I think I like Luris. 3/2 lifelink is solid. And if I pick up any 2-drops, like being able to recur them seems great. I don't think I'm willing to go all in on an Idol of Endurance, though. I also don't think we're really looking to do like crazy Reanimator stuff. I would need to have a lot more tokens floating around for that to be exciting. Perilous Vault could be something we could consider. We'll probably wheel a lot of that. I don't think we're looking for Bolas's Citadel, are we? That doesn't strike me as something I'm interested in. This is only 3 or less, right? We've got 2 ways to reanimate Gonti anyway. I think I'm just going to take the Watery Grave here and see if there's a blue splash we want later. We're going to get there on playables, you always do. This seems pretty interesting too. We don't really have a lot of ways to gain life. But I know I'm going to play this Wilds. I'd probably play that too, and probably play the Immortal Sun as well. Yeah, if you can gain life consistently, I could see this being pretty good. Like, right now it triggers with our Birth of Meletus, which is, I mean, something, but... Again, there's not a lot of duels we're going to be able to get for this, so let's try to grab them while we can. Unburial Rites, I think, is starting to get reasonable. I don't think we quite have enough creatures for us to be looking to go to the mall. I don't quite have enough ramp to want to play this. Because I took the secondary duel, I feel pretty okay taking this. I mean, we have 3 creatures we could put them all on. I don't think that's super reasonable. I suppose. If I'm already looking for 2-drops, I might actually want the Beard Sword over the Maul and this. Well, that's, again, one, like, you don't have to be a fan of it. You have to be aware that, like, every card in Cube is good. You can pick whatever you want. Like, there's no bad cards in this pack, right? We do, but reanimating them is pretty solid value. Is the reason there. And like, if we're able to reanimate any of these, I think we're pretty happy about it. I do need to pick up a couple 2-drop creatures, so let's just do that. We could play Warrant, and I could even splash the other side of it, but I'm kind of just looking for dudes here. We could consider splashing the Sovereign. That's another way to make a bunch of tokens. Because I've already got an Evolving Wild, so like there's options. I could also just take a 1-mana 2/1 and play it and be like, okay. I don't know that I like mixing blue into this when we only have 2 duels so far, so I think I'm just going to grab this and see if we have to play it. That's a lot of duels. That opens up a lot of space for us, potentially, so maybe we are interested in a potential blue splash. We didn't take a Watery Grave, unless it's hiding over here. Yeah, I don't think we took that one. The Woe Strider came back. I think we can give that a go. Because we do just need a couple bodies here and we're in business. There's yet another piece of blue fixing if we need it. It's at the bottom. Oh, we do have a Watery Grave. Cool. So we could realistically play blue at this point. This I think I'd like to have access to. It's a pretty good card. Folio. Okay, so the blue splash is on if we want it. Do I want it for this? Because I might. But again, one thing I've never particularly liked is like trying to pick apart a cube draft. But again, I don't view this as super competitive. I view this as a chance to relax and have some fun. Which is totally my jam, because I don't relax and have fun in Magic very often. I'm usually like typically very competitive with the limited queues. I could see an argument for Karn. I could see an argument for the Temple of Deceit. I could even see an argument for the Countless Gears Renegade, which may just be what we need here. Is Whisper insane? Whisper is potentially insane, but we don't have enough creatures to really do a lot with Whisper. We could do Whisper things, but like I like having some 2-drops that can block. It would just be Gonti, and I've already got enough to interact with that. Like, I'm not excited to be picking that early, but here we are. Because I did, though, I think I can afford to take this. We've got yet another enchantment that'll just accrue value over time, even Evolving Wilds to go with it. Lyra's pretty powerful. What does this do? Not great. Got a Keldorian Outpost, which is cool. But I think this is just what the doctor ordered. Another random big thing. So I think if we can get... Yeah, I don't see a reason to be playing blue currently. You meant crazy to pick, not incredibly powerful? Okay, fair. I mean, we do have some token generation going with it here, but I'm not 100% to play the sword currently. The sword was kind of counting on us getting, I don't know, 3 more 2-drops. Palaka Predation's pretty reasonable here. Because we're going to be there on playable, so just replacing a swamp with this is great. We would play the Bodyguard too. That's the risky pick. But I think I'd rather have 2s than 1s. I think it was. Brain Maggot's reasonable too. Massacre Worm? That's a pretty good one to bring back. This is kind of just an edict. I don't think I want that for us. I don't want this either. So I guess it's Massacre Worm or nothing. is we're probably going to play this aspirant. Worm is great. All of the cards are great. There are no bad cards in Cube. That's the most important thing to remember. They're all good cards. They're all good cards. And I think you could draft this, you could sit in this seat and draft 5 different decks and they would all be fine. This is a singleton cube. This is a singleton cube. We'll take this. Like, I don't think I'm exactly excited about it, but I need twos. What are you asking really about, Bim Bam? Yeah, that's fair. And people will have preferences in Cube, and you can have them. That's the biggest difference between this and traditional limited. If you go into draft Zendikar Rising with a color preference, you're going to do poorly, unless your color is incredibly open. If you go into Cube with color preferences, have fun. That's why I kind of feel like competitive Cube is a bit of a misnomer. Like, I don't like it when people try to play Cube competitively. This seems pretty okay. It's really too many escape cards in our deck, though, but I don't think I want a boat. Like, we're just looking for bodies right now, so let's get them. So how do we feel about Whisper now as we're closing out? It's like, I am short creatures, but I've got a tiny bit of token production with the Retreat and the Beard Sword, which I think I'm actually going to play. I think I'm interested in this. Because recurring the Massacre Worm, recurring Lyra, I think we've got enough going on here that we could use it. That said, I might just be better if I take something like... Well, this is interesting to recur too. But there's no reason for me not to have this in the sideboard. Oh, heck yeah. Creature land or creature land. Neat. I think I'd rather have this creature land, but... But that's a cube draft. Again, you could sit in this seat and draft anything you wanted. And if you, like, maybe there are people that are very competitive about cube, which is fine. Play it however you want to play it. But this looks pretty good to me. Sure, but it's not a bad card. It's a 1-mana combat trick. Like, that's not bad. This would leave us 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got our mana at 10, 10. We ended up with 4 duels, which I kind of mentioned. If you don't have 4 duels, I feel like you probably did it wrong. This Cruel Celebrant looks really, really bad in this list. And I think I'd rather swap it out for the 2-1. Because I need creatures that can trade, and our early game's suffering a little bit. Realistically, I'm probably going to end up cutting the Beard Sword a few times and playing something terrible instead of it. We didn't get quite enough early game. But that's okay. We will survive. I could also cut a land and play both, because I've got that Palaka Predation and the Amira's Call. I probably should do that. You know what? Let's just run the Brain Maggot. I think that might be the actual answer we were looking for. Yeah, that's the concern. It doesn't do anything on turn 2, and I'd like to have cards that do. Let's jam our Stream Raiders battle and see what we can do with this. But there's different opinions on Cube, and it's okay to have a different one than mine. Play it however you want to. But my view is that Cube is generally something done for fun, and I'm really thrilled that we can have best of 3 Cube, and that the prize structure is that a 2-1 lets you play again. Like, that's great. Atomaniac with the kills, Finnicus with the assists. Gold for Schmuck, Scrolls for Hero J, and Citrimba. I'm not used to seeing a lot of combat tricks in cubes. That is something that's a little different here, but I imagine the card pool just isn't quite deep enough on Arena for them to get away with it. All right, let's play some cube. That is what it always was on Moto, which is one of the reasons why I played it a lot back in the Moto days. I didn't jam it to the extent that some other people did. Like, a lot of people would be like, Cube's here! Ignore everything, play Cube! But this one seems pretty fun. Alright. I like to party. I think we're probably going to fire this off as discard and see what's going on over there. And then we can decide if we want to do that next turn or play the Caravan. If they don't play anything threatening, I might rather just ramp out, but in addition to getting a card, we can kind of get an idea of what they're doing over there. But at this point, getting a turn ahead just seems more valuable. Because if they play a threat, we can cast it out. If they don't, we can play this. And now I've changed my mind entirely. Because I get my card anyway. Hey, what's up, Dave? It's pretty fun. Best of 3 cubes, a good time, man. All right. Yeah, this one's out for a week, and they've got another one coming out. Tinker's Cube, I don't exactly know what the deal with that one is. We may just beat him to death with a Caravan. I think it was supposed to be a cube with a bunch of little combos. Was the idea? Yeah, I don't think I need to really hunt for value here. I like Dags. Remember Dags? Okay. Synergy cube with no planeswalkers? That's interesting, at least. Here, I tell you what, you can learn about the Massacre Worm. Because it makes me happy. Boop. Captivating Cruise is a strong card, too. Drop gets black-red shenanigans. Didn't really see a whole lot going on there. It feels like that hand was kind of, I have a Regisaur, can you beat it? And we could. So having answers to Regisaur seems pretty important. I think I want the Celebrant back in. And I think the sword is a little too cute for this matchup. We didn't see all of their decks, so we don't entirely know what they have, but I'm assuming there's some more burn in it. So the life gain and recursion could matter from the Celebrant. Also possible there's a Piker or a 3-1 in the deck. A lot of 2-1s for 1 in black. How is Bruce Campbell supposed to take that thing off of his arm? Or does it just stay there? I don't really understand what he's doing. I also don't understand why they had Bruce Campbell as a planeswalker, but there was that thing on Bruce Campbell's arm, and it looked like it was a sheath holding some sort of harpoon, but you couldn't actually pull the harpoon out of it. Anyway, these are things that Travis wonders sometimes that he probably shouldn't, and that's okay. Bruce Campbell, whatever this one is. I don't know. Luca. It's just an interesting art piece. They may have something better to back up than the Regisaur here. Because I probably need to cast that out eventually. Not right this second, but eventually. Yeah, what does he do with the weapon attached to his sleeve? How do you take it off? I don't understand. So you can see it in this link. Yeah, I don't know how you take that weapon off. I'm not really sure how you're able to use it. It just seems like a really inconvenient place to store it, and it looks like a weird weapon too. Sorry, YouTube. I'm apparently obsessed now with Luca's weapon. So you would unsnap it and then grab it? It doesn't seem like that's quick enough access to me. This shirt is part of the weapon? I can sort of believe that. I would love to trade off Gonti with this. Do we think that's remotely reasonable? I think it is, now that I've hit the second black. Elbow slice move. Yeah, but that's just decreasing your reach, right? Like you could hold a sword or a dagger or a sharp nail in your hand. And that would put you presumably further away from the thing that would hurt you. Okay, fine. I'll do this the hard way. Might launch from there, so you fire it like a harpoon gun. And I mean, you do what you got to do. It's magic? Yeah, I guess it could be magical in nature. That's fair. Oh, I was supposed to do this in response. Sorry, I'm still thinking about that weird elbow weapon. I don't understand it. I really don't. I may just need to kill this. So maybe I made the right call after all. Yeah, I can do it that way too, but like this just seems fine to me. I guess they could theoretically get it back later, but I don't care. I'm getting Gonti back. Oh, yeah, that's probably better then, but I still don't care. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the elbow weapon. I should stop thinking about the elbow weapon. Plus, I can take their stuff and hit them with it. That seems neat. I shouldn't have played the land out, obviously, but it's not real and it can't hurt me. I'm going to stop thinking about it. We're going to stop talking about it and stop thinking about it, and it's okay. What you got over there? Neat. I'll hold on to that for you. The thing has been achieved. We can retire the deck. Yes, it has been. We have achieved thingness. Okay. Do I have cards I don't care about in there? Probably. Oh, I got to do 4 other ones. I actually need something to die. That's a real challenge. I kind of just want to sit here and like dirtle them to death. So I think I'm going to do that for a little bit. I probably should respect their deck a little more, but I can't get it. Bruce Campbell's staring at me. Actually, he's kind of staring off into the corner, and that's making me nervous too. Like, what is he looking at? He's looking at what he's going to throw the harpoon at. That's fair. He's going to throw the harpoon at my Christmas tree? That doesn't seem very nice either. Okay, so their plan has been revealed, and it's probably good enough to kill me. And I like what they're doing. You get another look at him over here, right? Oh, neat. They really wanted that cathartic reunion for something, so let's take it. Oh, you're going to do something with this, huh? Okay. That's cool. That guy seems pretty good. They got more than enough to buy him back, too. I'm in danger! Well, I think they were wanting to just play it this turn, right? Use they if you don't mind. I should do that too. It's a good habit to get into. So that's a sorcery that doesn't kill literally anything on this board. What are they looking to do? Fling something at my face, I guess? Oh, you meant the Titan. Fair. Fair. They're going to block with a 5/5 and weaponize on Luris. Huh? Oh, they're going to block the 5/5 and weaponize on Luris. Yes. That is what they're going to do. That's going to happen anyway, right? Is there a way I can make that not happen? I'd like to make that not happen. But it doesn't but like we can do that. I still don't have enough dead stuff for this to come back. This guy sucks. We've got that enchantment removal card we can bring in because it looks like they have a lot of enchantments. I thought the deck was all about the Reggie, but it's not. Yeah, but Reggie's still going to die there too, and it just means we have less attackers. I made some mistakes earlier because I was thinking about this stupid art. I've got to, like, just ignore it. It's hard, though. He's taunting me. I wonder why they won't bring this back. They really seem to not want to. I guess they want to just kill me with it, and they're pretty dang close to being able to do it. That's a reasonable reason. That's the point of it, to confuse Luca's opponents. I think I'm with you there. I should be super dead here, right? Yeah, as long as they know what their cards do, we're dead on board. Yeah, Weaponize can go face. Yeah, the tournament is this weekend, actually. Looking forward to that. Just like the Immolator. All right, I'll try to pay attention and stop thinking about Bruce Campbell. It's difficult, though. That doesn't kill me this turn. Why didn't they kill me this turn? I would have thought they'd have wanted to kill me this turn. That seems like something you'd want to do. I'm still just dead to them untapping. Like, I don't get it, but like, I'm not winning this. Like, they can just fling the crocs at... They've got like 500 different ways. Because, like, getting this back doesn't do anything either. Yeah, we're still dead on board, but... I can attack like I'm not. Yeah, they may not be aware that they can go face with it, which is, I mean, fine. Yeah, we need to remember to bring that in for sure. They saw the line. You did it, Reddit. So this does seem pretty useful. I'm sort of interested in the vault, too. I screwed that up way earlier, though. So far, I've not been terribly impressed with this, but it's probably still worth playing. I don't need the vault. That's just being silly. And Whisper, I don't think I need either. So we should be fine here. Nope, not necessarily. I think we could play that and be pretty happy with it. As long as I can hit another land, this is fine. We need to hit another land, obviously, but... Hey, look, another land. Why did this honk? Look at all them chickens! Sounded like somebody drop-kicked a bunch of geese. I can't think of that. If we think about things like that, we're going to get in trouble. It's a goose fighting arena? Okay. I mean, there's a rule of Goose Fight Club. I think you know what it is. So is this a good enough time to just blow up these two and be pretty happy about it? Yeah, you don't honk about Goose Club. I feel like a solid 2-for-1 makes me happy, but I also feel like this would be pretty nice too. But let's just do the thing. Sanderson's great. So I cannot currently kill anything with this, but it's for later. Rika's spawn stops the attacks, which I like. The Eldest Reborn doesn't really do much, does it? There's nothing I want to get back. Because it doesn't get enchantments. Or maybe we just play this. You guys are distracting me again with your honking. What was the first rule of Goose Fight Club? You don't honk about Goose Fight Club. Okay, I feel like that being dead would be good for us, so let's make that be dead. Somebody once told me that Farika Spawn should attack for 3. Happy holidays, Myam. Well, that kind of means this isn't getting much better. But I kind of feel like Woe's striding it up, yo. If their plan is going to be to chump block with the skeleton, we can tie up their mana that way. Man, these cube matches go a lot longer than normal stuff. What does he have to do to block? He has to do stuff to attack. See you later, Bantu. Bantu will be tapped soon. Like, we can also do this. We got a lot of ways to mess with Bantu. I wanted to get this down while they don't have the skeleton out. Or at least denying them a card. And like, we've got a couple of answers to it next turn. If they don't play it, we can even potentially brain maggot it. Like, it's coming back, but who cares? Silly goose. Okay. They might have some sacrifice effects, but I feel like it's okay to take a peek here. So I wouldn't mind hitting double black at some point. That's funny. Like, here's another, literally another answer for Bond 2, and I'm like, no, I don't need it. Okay. What you got over there? Oh, wow, you had a lot of good stuff. So they're at 4, 5, 6. So Ugin's not happening anytime soon. They're not going to be able to cast this because their life total's too low. Oh, I was going to play the Luris and crew. Ugin needs to go? They'd need to draw 2 lands, and we know one of their next draws isn't land. But I suppose that's fair. That's the card that's most likely to beat me. They could. I think they're going to be dead pretty soon. Because they kind of need to just do this just to gain the 3 life. I remember look at the cards. That is obnoxious. How much is this to do? 3? So I probably want to do that. How crazy would it be to take their priest or reassembling skeleton? I guess I could take Luris, reanimate this, and have a pretty good turn going. Yeah, I'm down with that because this is 3 other cards, so I'm able to bring that back. Oh, I can play the Birth of Meletus too. That's pretty cool. This deck's got a lot of neat stuff going for it. I didn't even recognize that interaction. We're not going to get to do anything with it because if they attack with Luris and blocking it. Look at that. They can play their own enchantment. Everybody gets fun stuff to do with Luris. Yeah, I like what they're doing here. I changed my mind about blocking. I cast this? No, we just win the game. Win the game. Like, we could have just hit him for 3 there and then been like, okay, your goal. That might have been fun. All right, I'm going to take a little break, and we'll be back with the next round. So YouTube, we'll see you in just a second. All right, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, as we enter into round 2. All right, I'll try to pay attention this time and not get incredibly distracted. I shouldn't have put Whisper in this deck. I also should learn my lesson and never mulligan. And Whisper's here taunting me again. But I think we need 2 lands to be able to play. This at least has that. Okay, so there is something happening here. And that something is I have both colors of mana. And I can even get a 3rd land with this and then potentially replay it. So I think I probably have to do this. I wouldn't necessarily call this a good opener, but we'll take it. It's only 1 Explorer, so that's okay. Get honked. Yeah, I think I want to play the Lurrus. It honked again. Okay, fine. What you doing over there? Angel of Invocation, the Great Hinge. Wow, these are all really good cards. They've even got a Lurrus of their own. Alright. That's interesting. I don't think it's really fair that they took mine. Yeah, you've got Lurrus at home. This is not the world where I want to Brain Maggot. I kind of want to be Conquering Death here in a minute. Because, like, we're going to have some problems with that Angel. So I'm ironically looking for the land that I could have had but don't. So we probably Conquer Death now. I think I'm supposed to chump this so I have something to get back with this. I get another goat too. Which, I mean, that seems like absurd value to me. This can't be good for me, but none of it stops until Lurrus stops. So Lurrus has got to die. I don't imagine this is going to go particularly well for us, but this is what we've got so far. Well, this plus a goat. This is from your graveyard. We could, in theory, do it later. We just can't now. Just get... Oh, they're gonna get my... No, they can't get this. But I'm starting to think our goat may not be enough. But I do get a goat. And we can make a token. We're kind of doing it. Kind of dead. All right, Mr. Goat, I'm going to need you to be better. You're not good enough. I need the goat to be dead now. Which means we're kind of interested in this wall as well. Because that Dryad's going to kill me. Well, the Mulligan 2 killed me. Or the Mulligan twice killed me, but... I can't really think of anything I could even draw that would get us out of this, frankly. This is only killing a token, but it's okay. Ooh, okay. I did not expect that. I was not ready for the swift response on their side. That makes us sad. Oh, you're right. I should have sacked. I forgot that this did that. I haven't played with the Theros cards enough to know back and forth what they all do. Yeah, I missed that. I absolutely missed it. Do I want to cash this in for a scry? Because I kind of need something here. Well, what I kind of need is blockers, and I've got them. Hey, that's interesting. Because I feel like this kind of needs to go. I'm holding this because we do have a landfall card. Because I can currently double block this, and that's at least something. Oh, wait until the response to the token. That's fair too. Because we're taking way more damage than we need to be here. Yeah, that was the right call. I didn't see that they had enough mana open for it. Because frankly, I thought they would have attacked last turn if they had enough mana open for it. So it was partially that I missed it, and also partially that I missed it. But I missed it for a different reason than you might have thought I missed it. What's up, Band Geek? Good grief. You gotta stop. I was using that. That is always the correct answer. That's lethal. Yeah, I tend not to stress that much in Cube. Like, I'm going to miss stuff. I'm playing with cards I've never seen before and seeing interactions I've never seen before. But I usually don't beat myself up too bad about it. Oh, we didn't get outvalued. I made some mistakes. It's okay. I think I'm kind of interested in the Celebrant again, and this looks like a position where the Vault could actually be quite good. I think the Sword was a little much, and Whisper's just been disappointing every time I've seen it. I don't think it should be in there. Is Heliod's Intervention good here? It blows up enchantments, right? They don't have any. Am I missing what that does? It blows up artifacts too? They have one? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, the Hinge and the Crusade. Okay. Now you're talking. Heck yeah, it's good. This again, I don't know. I just don't know what this card does. But if there's multiple targets for it, sure, let's talk. This guy's not doing a whole lot for us. Neither is this. Let's trim him. No, I hear you. It's just like, again, going into Cube, I kind of let all that go and just try to do fun stuff and have a good time, especially when the cost in is so low. Like, may as well just enjoy yourself. Gotta have another planes for this one, right? Yeah. We got plenty of planes. Yeah, that really tickled me. Affordable entry is a big deal. Well, last time it was best of one, so it kind of didn't matter what the prize pool was. I wasn't that interested in it. Crystalline Giant, thank you very much. I'm having a good time with it, Monarch. I'm having a real good time with it. I was hoping they'd get that one. It was a giant the whole time. We could have. I don't think the extra... Because I get it... By not waiting, I still get a 1-1. I feel like it doesn't matter. So we're supposed to force a trade here, potentially? They could have bounce. They're playing blue. I don't want them to bounce it and replay their own Lurrus. Like, they were mostly blue, green, white. They're more likely to have ways to bounce than they are to reanimate. Yeah, I don't feel super compelled to attack in here, because there's a world where I need to trade this off with that. You can't get that back with the Lurrus. Yes, I could have made that play that doesn't work. But that doesn't strike me as something I'd like to do. I don't think they need to know about this right now. This also has first strike and death touch. So they're just throwing away creatures to it if that's the way they want to go. Have a good one, Wallet. But there's enough stuff in here to make it feel like you're doing very powerful things and having fun. I would caution you to... I don't think Cube is meant to be played competitively. But that's like my opinion, man. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle, and then we will get ready for the next round. Happy honking wallet. I don't think there's a correct pick in Cube. I think in most limited packs, I can give you a correct pick based on whether you're playing on the ladder, you're playing in a tournament, you're playing for fun. I think there's a correct pick in your average Battle for Zendikar pack, or even Zendikar Rising. But Rizzy with the kills, Appen with the assists. Rewards for Old Man Unglued Techno Shaman Mauricio and Sonic. Yeah, but you can also just play Commander casually and ignore the bandings. Like, not like you have to do these things, you know? Do things that make you happy. Yeah, I'm kind of alright with where we are. Are you 46 now, Andy? Yeah, I think we're kind of fine where we are. Old man yells at Cloud. It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out. Alright, we can work with this. How much effort do I want to go through to try to get a 1/1 token? I guess a little bit. Oh, never mind. I want to kill that. Ooh, we can epically downfall it? That seems like it could get better. And I could potentially double spell in a future turn, so let's hold your horses there, buddy. I don't know what they're planning to do with that much mana, but I don't like it. How much do I care about them killing my Lurrus? Not a lot, but sure, 2/2 to the rescue. It could be fun. That could be real fun. But it's not going to be less fun later. I want to get him in the habit of blocking with this wall. They don't want to block that wall. Okay, you don't have to block it. I don't think we wait in that scenario, because they're going to have more. It's not like they're not going to have more creatures. We're doing this now. I don't need to deal with that either. Apparently I do need to deal with it. Interesting that Mind Stone's in the cube too. I didn't know that was on Arena. Yuck. Oh, I'll take cards I'm not beating unless we draw our enchantment removal for 500, Alex, because I'm not beating that unless we draw our enchantment removal. But we do have an out in the deck. I've cast it a couple times in draft. It's really good. The first cube deck we did today had that in it, and it was also really good. There's very little we could top deck to deal with it, realistically speaking. Like, I can't think of much that would just annihilate it. I know it doesn't. We can't activate it, but it doesn't hurt to have it sitting there. That's for after we hit the enchantment removal. Can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Because Overwhelming Splendor has taxed. But the thing is, we need the enchantment removal, and then we need to blow their board up. So we start by finding the enchantment removal, then we blow their board up. Conti is a 1-mana 1/1. That is not good for us. Doesn't matter how we block. We need to try to stay alive for as many turns as we can. And I think the answer is not very many. Because I need to be able to blow that up and then immediately activate this, which I can do, but that means it has to be my top card. Because we're taking 3 here. Enchantment removal. That does not do the trick. I don't think them sacrificing 1 card is going to be enough here. I am glad we brought the enchantment removal in. It gave us an out to that, but let's go ahead and let them see how big a hit they can get in. I think if they'd tapped properly, they could have gotten in an additional 6 damage. But negative 25 is still pretty dead. You fooled. Cube is fun. You just get to see ridiculous stuff. And if we can get a 2-1 out of this, we get to play again. How is that not just solid value? And 250 XP. We're doing a draft for YouTube right now, Techno Shaman, but as soon as this is finished, would be very happy to. I've been disappointed with Whisper every time I've seen it. I think it's actively pretty bad here. We've got some cute stuff to recur, but meh. It's not doing it for me. I was happy with Whisper, I think 99% of the time in Dominaria, because I was really only playing it when I had a lot of shenanigans going. Yeah, we're probably cycling Cast Out here, is my guess. Because we need to either hit early game or have stuff going on. You don't often cycle that. Yeah, Whisper needs a shell, and this deck does not have it. All right. There's a possibility we just want to run Whisper out here and let him kill it and kind of be okay with that. Sure. Where's target player sacrifices the land when you need it? Like, we're sort of okay with them killing Whisper because it's not really doing anything. It might later, but it certainly isn't now. Yeah, Whisper came to attack, yo. Yeah, Reclamation Sage is almost always main deckable in cubes. Was it? I can believe it. Okay. What you got over there? Key to the city, huh? You may look at the card. You may spend mana to cast that spell. So I can't get lands with this. That's unfortunate. I wanted to be able to get lands with it. We have an attack here? I don't see why we wouldn't. Probably, depending on what they target. That seems okay. Yeah, that Shadow Spear seems pretty good. He said mockingly. Oh, wait a minute. They're just building me a new board. Sure. I have you meow. If Reclamation Sage is main deckable, then Heliod's Herpaderp should be main deckable. Seems better than Whisper. Like, we did something with Whisper here, which is neat, but... They're still going to win this, aren't they? That's challenging. Oh, no, they're not. Thanks for playing, though. I don't need it. They're just dead. They tapped out at 1 and gave me a 2/2. I'm okay with that interaction. I'm very okay with that interaction. You want to go controlling? I can go controlling. I can definitely go controlling. Yeah, we could have cycled the land there, but it doesn't matter. I'm wondering what I could do with this. But I probably just need to cut this and Whisper realistically. I imagine it's not fun to be away from your significant other for that amount of time, though. I do remember the cat named Houseplant. That's pretty amazing. My name is Semulin, and I approve of this message. Good interaction of cycle this, but I'm going to need it sooner rather than later. Cycling cards and bag of holding are pretty neat. It's okay, Band Geek. I thought we were playing against some sort of control-y deck, but it looks like we weren't, and I was wrong. I will not smite you this time. Perhaps in the future you will be smitten. Let's hang on to that for later. Because I think I need to cast this out now, presumably during attacks. They can't just Reg Sage it immediately. They'll probably Reg Sage this. I think I'm more comfortable running out the Lyra here. Because they kind of have to deal with this right now. And dealing with it means I'm taking 5 damage and then can still top deck a land for the Massacre Worm. And Massacre Worm would be pretty good here. Wait a minute, this doesn't produce black, does it? It doesn't. This does. I just don't need this. What's up, Ray? What's up, Coder? Yeah, we expected that this was going to get wrecked, and that's okay. So is this good, and if so, why, is my question. It looks like yes is the answer. So ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for tuning in and hanging out. I know this was a bit of a longer video, but cube drafts can go a lot longer. If you'd like to watch the action live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Interact and chat. Tell me why my plays are bad or good. and play Stream Raiders and hang out with all these cool people. I will see you next time, YouTube.